Hey guys, welcome back to Mesha's Corner. Today I'm going to be making my ultimate peach cobbler. So I'm using fresh peaches. I have about 10 peaches here, medium size, and they're nice and sweet and ripened. I have some ground ginger, some fresh ginger, and lemons. So I'm going to use the zest and the juice of the lemons. I also have a little bit of bourbon left, which I am going to put a splash or two in there. And my puff pastries over there. You don't have to use puff pastry. I'm using puff pastry because it's what I have and it's what I want to use. You can get puff pastry in the supermarket. Mine was made in class, so I'm going to use it. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to season up my peaches. You see in my bowl right there, I chopped them into cubes. And now I'm going to start zesting about 1.5 teaspoons of fresh ginger in here. So I'm just going to use my little mandolin zester thing. I couldn't find my other one, so I'm using this one, which is going to take a lot longer. Now that I got all the zesting out the way, I even went as far as zesting my lemon in here. So I zested about 1/2 teaspoon of lemon zest in here, along with my teaspoon of zested fresh ginger. So now I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. 2 tablespoons of flour is fine for my 10 peaches. Some nutmeg, about 1/2 teaspoon, is optional, and the same 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, the juice of half of 1 lemon. And then you're gonna stir this up. Preheat your skillet on the stove about medium, and get your butter melting. And we're gonna cook this down just for a little bit before we finish it off in the oven. Now I'm going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Melt it down. Alright, my butter is pretty much melted, so now I'm just gonna pour all my peaches in here. And I'm just gonna let this simmer for maybe 5 minutes or so until it thickens, and then I'm gonna put it to the side to cool. And in the meantime, I'm going to start rolling out my puff pastry. Oh, I almost forgot my bourbon. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of bourbon into my peaches. This is optional. You do not have to do this. Just leave it out. It's just that simple. Don't worry, the alcohol cooks off. You're not going to taste it, but it does add extra punch to the cobbler. Let this cook up for about 5 minutes just to give it a head start. And then that'll be it. This is my peach cobbler after about 5 to 7 minutes of simmering. Now I'm going to pour it off into my pan and get going on the pastry. Yum, 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 yum. Make sure you taste this too. It's really good. So I rolled my dough out. The square is definitely not perfect. But yeah, I put some flour down on my counter, and I just roll it out with my rolling pin. And yeah, so just make sure your dough is like at least the size of your pan. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of bright, and the dough kind of blends in with the counter. So yeah. Okay, peach cobbler is back. Now I'm going to put my dough on here. There is really no easy way to do this. You just have to be very, very, as you can see, I'm already messing up, but very, very careful. Okay, I have a little bit of excess, but that's fine. You can just roll it down. When it bakes up, it'll be nice and pretty, so I'm not really worried about this. You're going to brush the top of this entire thing with 2 egg yolks. You're going to beat 2 egg yolks into a bowl and brush the entire top of it and put it into a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. So after 30 minutes, I'm going to check it, and if it needs more time, then I'm going to 45 minutes. But I think 30 minutes is pretty fair. So yeah, so I'm just gonna brush this whole thing with 2 egg yolks, and that's it. Okay, so I have my egg yolks here. I'm just gonna brush the top of my pastry. This is going to give it more color, for it to be evenly browned. You won't have white spots hanging out even after it's baked. And this is how we do it in school anyway. Anything we make with pastry, we brush the top of it with the egg yolks, so it can be evenly brown. And make sure your filling is completely cooled before you put your pastry on, if you do it my way. Okay, and I'm gonna sprinkle the top with a little bit of sugar, and then now it's going into the oven. Now I'm going to work on some fresh made whipped cream. All you need is some heavy cream, some sugar, and a mixer or a whisk. So to my bowl, I'm going to add a half a pint of heavy whipping cream and a couple tablespoons of sugar, and that's it. You're just gonna whisk this until you get like stiff peaks, and put it in the fridge and wait until your peach cobbler is finished. Okay, so halfway through I decided I wanted some lemon zest in here, so I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of lemon zest down in here to give it a little punch, because it's kind of flat. It's optional, but I wanted lemon zest in here. So turn it back on and let it go for another minute or so. Okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. You see how it's like stiff peaks on the attachment? Just like that, and it's perfect. So now I'm going to check on the cobbler, and then I'm going to plate this up. This is my peach cobbler fresh out the oven. It looks so good, you guys. I don't even know what to say, and it smells incredible. But I'm going to let this cool for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to cut into this and plate it up. So this is what my peach cobbler looks like. I put my whipped cream on top and some fresh mint, just to, you know, make the plate pretty, basically. But so it's delicious. It's sweet, not too sweet. The whipped cream ties it together. And yeah, so I'm about to dig into this. So give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Let me comment below, and I'll see you guys next time on my next video, which will be a salad. Okay guys, bye.